I'm going to fade it out here, right in the middle of the Police Academy 4 sax solo. All right, welcome. Obviously, there's a theme to tonight's show, if you haven't guessed. Tonight, because it actually popped up last week when we were watching that. I was watching that god-awful Halloween movie that I didn't even get through. I don't even remember what it was called. It was dog shit. I hated it. But during the commercial breaks, which was the only thing that kept me going through that movie, was a segment for Fight Back with David Horowitz. And I was like, I remember that show. I watched it when I was a kid. So then I started doing a little digging, and I was like, cool. Well, that's what we ought to do next week. So we're doing it. So anyways, tonight, our show is going to be about Mr. David Charles Horowitz, American consumer reporter and journalist for KNBC in Los Angeles. That's right. So, ladies, if you're listening, be prepared to hang out those panties to dry after tonight's show, because it's going to be a wet one. Now, anyways, if you don't know who the guy was, I just said he worked at KNBC in Los Angeles. He had an Emmy Award-winning program called Fight Back, which would warn viewers about defective products, test advertised claims to see if they were true, and confront corporations about customer complaints. He was also on the board of directors of the National Broadcast Editorial Conference, City of Hope, and the American Cancer Society. And he's just, his whole life, he actually passed away a couple of years ago, R.I.P., but he was always a big consumer advocate guy. So we're going to watch some clips tonight. And then about what was Kravitz's stage name before? Wasn't it like Romeo Blue or something? Yeah, it was something like that. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, about there's two things he's kind of known for. It's his Fight Back segment show or whatever, and then there's one other thing that he was known for, one incident that happened to him, and we're going to go into that about, I don't know, I'm going to give it about an hour or so, and I'll play that clip because that's also interesting. So let's get my display up here. Oh no, it's the void. Hold on here. Okay, so we got an episode here. This is
it's the
okay, let me just drag it over here. Okay. Wait, is there like a date on this one or anything? Okay, this is from 92. So, yeah, the show went here's a little Wikipedia on the show, by the way. It went from 76 to 92. And, it informed consumers about corporations and other big businesses whose products were of poor quality. The format of the show allowed for some humorous segments, such as allowing people to send in photos of unintentionally funny signs, similar to Jay Leno's headlines. In 87, the show was awarded Best Public Affairs Series for a network station, and Horowitz received a regional Emmy. Let's get to the episode.
Welcome to Fight Back. The Technolite flashlight claims it is not only waterproof, but almost indestructible. We'll work it over and see what happens. Can you have a bad credit report cleaned out of your file for a fee? We'll see if it can be done. The rental car companies have to make it easier for you to understand the rules. We'll tell you how. We'll check out an offer that promises to make everybody who takes part in it a millionaire. And we'll see just how far a box of Tide will really go. All this right here on...
Yeah, this intro is just, this is some A+ animation here. He's basically just Letterman dropping shit. Yeah, he's just dropping shit off buildings.
I have these wonderful fish in my office because of this letter that I received from Whitney Kirkland, who lives in St. Louis, Missouri. He writes, "This ad looks like a perfect subject for Fight Back. It says, the Technolite flashlight is designed to keep working no matter what the situation. Not only is it totally waterproof, it is built to survive anything that comes its way, including the wheels of a family car." Well, Whitney, we'll get to the family car later, but I have the Technolite flashlight
Oh, no. He's going to electrocute those fucking fish.
here, and let's give it a little water test and see if our friends want the spotlight shining on them. And here we go. Here, fish. Here, fish. Here we go.
Bzz. You just see the fish go belly. You just float straight to the top. Bzz.
Here we go.
There you go, you little fuckers. There you go. You're in the
They
spotlight.
seem to be enjoying it, don't they, huh?
Hey, you like it, you little fuckers.
They're basking in the Technolite. And by the way, on my wrist, and I'll shine this on my wrist, on
My watch is now broken, so it's a piece of shit.
my wrist, I happen to have a Timex watch. And see if it'll take a dunk
Oh, that's a Timex Iron Man. Ah, those things were tanks.
and still keep ticking. Well, the Technolite
Hold on. Alexa, cancel. Holy hell.
worked, and my Timex is still ticking. Now let's see what this flashlight will do in other tests. The ad also showed that Technolite worked after being run over by a car. So we placed the Technolite...
Oh, shit. See, that's how you do a test, man. Right? If you want to, like, do a run-over test with something, you don't get no fucking Honda. You don't get a fucking Mazda. You get an 82 Chevy Caprice station wagon. You don't fuck around.
light on a lonely road and waited for a car to run over it. And it passed the test. Technolite cost $25. You would think that a $2 flashlight like this one would also survive. Right?
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Oh!
Wrong.
You're dead fucking... Now it's a fleshlight.
Let's just see how much punishment this Technolite will take.
This is Dave. He's Union.
Like a 10-foot drop onto a cement floor. Aha! The light is out, and Technolite fails our... Oh, it was just loose. Okay, it made it after a 10-foot drop. Let's see what it will do from about 30
Yeah, I'm gonna drop this fucking light now. Let's see if this shit lasts now. Fuck you and your light, Horowitz.
feet.
Yeah, that shit's broken now.
That did it. Technolite never claimed its flashlight would survive a 30-foot drop. I just wanted to see how far we could...
I think that's what it is. Wouldn't that be funny if every episode ultimately just ends up with him just dropping shit off of a building? Like, no matter what it is. Like, we're going to test this dish soap and see how effective it is, and they just drop it off the fucking building.
Go. As you know, this isn't the first time we've taken sponsors' claims to new heights. On a past show, we hooked a Sears plastic trash can to a helicopter and took it up to 3,000 feet. We dropped it into a stone quarry pit in Irwindale, California, to test its strength. It survived such a test when Sears did it, but it bottomed out on our challenge.
I mean, overall, I'd say that that's not bad, considering. right?
How about shatterproof peanut butter jars, spill-proof
See? He's just dropping shit. You're right.
detergent boxes, and
And I have no problem with this, by the way.
the Timex watch? We'll find out how tough they are as Fight Back continues.
Strut that ass! Strut that ass!
There they go!
When Peter Pan and Jif introduced their shatterproof peanut butter jars and tied its non-spill snap-top lid, we put them all to a very grueling test. Racing with a Tyco race car, they raced over rocks, down
Was this like towards the end of the show's run where they're just running out of ideas and they're like, let's just roll a fucking jar of peanut butter down a hill? I don't know.
steep cliffs, just to find out how tough they really were. This was to be the ultimate test. Peter Pan flipped its lid, but otherwise seemed okay. Jif didn't seem to be damaged at all. Tide's snap top did remain tightly closed, even though the side of the box ripped open. That's when we decided to take them all up in our helicopter.
That's when we decided to tape a watch to a brick and throw it out of a helicopter.
Along with a Timex watch. We took the ship up to 2,000 feet over the Irwindale Stone Quarry for the ultimate test. First, Peter Pan bails out without a parachute.
They were awfully close to the highway there. Did you see that shit? I could see the street. Wait, let me see that again.
Over the Irwindale
Because at that distance, man, that jar of peanut butter is like a fucking bullet.
Stone Quarry for
Yeah, I'm David Horowitz, and this is Jackass.
the ultimate test. First,
Jackass.
Peter Pan bails out without a parachute.
It goes right through the engine block of a 82 Chevy Caprice station wagon.
Next, the Jif peanut butter. There goes the Timex watch tied to the brick. And finally, the
God, you had to be the fucker that had to find that thing.
box of Tide with its spill-proof snap top. Now, none of these products claim they can survive a 2,000-foot drop, but
We just want to drop shit because we got the helicopter for the rest of the day, so we're just going to start dropping shit out of it.
it really is an interesting test, don't you think?
I mean, honestly, if they're like, dude, you got this helicopter for like the rest of the afternoon, like, all right, let's just throw shit out of it. I'd do it.
The box of Tide crashed on the rocks. We had to climb up to get it. And look at that. The box is intact.
Did it? It fucking survived. All right.
The
Can you even buy Tide in a powder anymore?
snap top came off, but it sure passed the spill-proof test. We dropped lower trying to find the peanut butter
He's in the episode. Like I said, we got plenty of episodes. I'm just, going through them.
jars. Jif is there. And there. And there.
Ooh.
The Peter Pan jar is at least recognizable. Finding the Timex watch turned out to be tougher. Oh, there's the brick. Where's the watch? There it is. The brick actually broke into two pieces. Is the watch still ticking? It took a brickin' and keeps on ticking.
It took a dickin'.
Well, now you know. Don't ever drop your peanut butter jars or trash cans from a helicopter. Your box of Tide might make it. And as long as you remove it from your wrist, the Timex drop is safe. About the Technolite flashlight that broke at 30 feet, we replaced the broken bulb, and it's as good as new. Who says we're not fair? Now, let's go shopping.
Hi, will that be cash or charge?
Charge.
Terrific.
You know, it goes without saying that the credit card or charge account really
This guy's like, who are you talking to, sir?
makes shopping very convenient. But as you know, just miss a few payments and you say goodbye to both your charge card and your good credit rating. But what about all those ads that you see in the newspaper? Those ads that promise to clean up your credit file for a fee. Is this really as easy and as inexpensive as the ads say? Most of these companies claim they can wipe a person's credit record clean and even get them credit cards from banks and major department stores, regardless of their prior credit.
I think companies like that still kind of exist now, don't they? That was still back when they had the credit card machine, like the you'd stick your card in that thing and they'd slide it. Yeah, I don't know.
History, but it's not that easy.
Much of the misrepresentations revolve around the perception that there is some technique by which even accurate information about a consumer's credit history can be removed, and that's simply not the case. Only inaccurate information. If it's accurate and it's derogatory, that means it doesn't look good, it has to stay on the record for 7 to 10 years. That's required by law.
Nor can credit repair companies deliver major credit cards just for the asking. At best, they may help people with poor credit obtain cards secured by the applicant's own bank deposits. And getting a card like that doesn't require a fix-it expert.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to... History. Oh, shit, sorry.
Either.
It's important for consumers to understand that there's nothing a credit repair agency can do that the consumer himself or herself cannot do at little or no cost for themselves. That's rule number one.
Okay, so next episode, apparently.
You've probably...
Hold on. I'm going to get a better episode here. This is a 3-parter. This was the one I want. This is... Yeah. Part 3, part 2. Okay, here we go.
And Las Vegas, owned and operated by Carson Broadcasting Corporation.
You can tan at the beach or you can tan in a tanning clinic. 1 minute in here is worth an hour out in the sun. But is it safe? If you've been ripped off, you're entitled to a day in court. We'll show you how to fight back.
Oh.
Is Orville
This is 1980, so I think this is pre-fight back theme.
Redenbacher's popcorn the bigger popper? We'll pop it against the competition and see. Welcome to Fight Back. I'm David Horowitz.
I kind of like that theme.
We all know that a lot of people are
Yeah, the quality's kind of shitty. I can't do much about it.
investing in gold, silver, and coins without knowing anything about them. Now, if you ask the experts, there are certain standards that tell you what the stuff is worth. Now, we saw this enticing ad and ordered the pound of coins offered for $18. We also paid $3 extra for postage and insurance. And here, folks, is what we got. Watch carefully. I don't want any of this.
See, this is the show I remember where he was like on a stage and like there was a live audience. Yeah, you could see the hair dye versus not hair dye. Yeah, he somehow looked younger in 1991 than he does here.
To spill over. I just want you to see what we got, and I'll tell you about all these treasures.
Literally, yeah, the quality is so low it just looks like somebody took a shit on the podium or on the yeah.
Okay, first of all, the ad offers a gold piece of the world. Now, what you get is a Maximilian peso from Mexico. It is not even a coin, it is a token. The most that any coin dealer offered us was $6.95. Now, by the way, the gold in this token is...
That was a fad, wasn't it? Buddy, you probably remember that more than I do. Like back in the 80s, like there was all these coin places everywhere. Coin collecting, like that was a big thing, and it was one of those markets that got completely saturated, and then nothing was worth shit after that. It's kind of like Beanie Babies.
Worth about $3. You believe that? $3. All right, here is another coin. This is a replica of a 1776 Continental coin. On the back, in fine print, it says copy. This one was appraised at being worth half a cent. Half a cent. Now, let's get to the Buffalo nickels and the V-nickels.
That's Maximilian Peso.
That we have here, and let me just put them here so you can see them nice and clearly. Here are the Buffalo and the V-nickels. Now, you might say, how much are these worth? What our coin expert told us is they're worth about 6 cents a piece. If they were of very good quality, they could be worth a lot more. But as you can see, they're all extremely worn, and some of the dates
Those are some mighty fine-looking fingernails there, Horowitz.
are missing. Without a date, coins are almost worth.
Yeah, I remember, your team. Yeah, you were sponsored by Coin Investors. Boy, talk about just of the time.
Worthless to any collector. Then we got all these pennies, these wheatback pennies. And you know what they're worth? About 2 cents a piece. And many of them are not 25 years old, although the ad says they are. Now, Fightback's coin expert told us that none of these coins are expected to appreciate in value in the near future. So what do we have? What we have, folks, is a pound of coins that we paid $18 for that are worth less than $10.
Son of a
If
bitch!
you ordered these, would you be disappointed?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
are we. So what we did is we contacted the advertiser, the Center Coin Company. We were told we could send the coins back for a full refund. But in order to return them,
Yeah, they had the luxury of doing that, right? We're just happy just to have, just money in general.
we have to pay several more dollars in postage and insurance. Now, that's our loss. If you look at the ad carefully, you see what the coins are that are pictured as high quality, brilliant, and uncirculated. Well, that's certainly not what we get. Now, there's a lesson here. And that lesson is, if you buy something that's not what you thought it was, send it back for a refund and let the postal inspector know about it. That's what we're going to do, and that's how to fight back.
Yay! And the crowd goes wild.
Speaking of fighting back, stay with us, because after this short break, we're
I'm going to pull my cock out.
going to show you the best bargain in fighting back anywhere. Can you imagine this replica?
This fucking horse shit. Fight back. Okay, so that's part 1. Here's part 2. Yeah, I'm sure.
Handles more than 35,000 cases a year.
I see the fight back theme back then was hot, right? Then the 80s took over.
You know that on Fight Back, we always try to help you look out for yourself and get your money's worth. Now, for example, we're going to show you how for $10 in Baltimore, $13 in Detroit and Chicago, $15 in Dallas, $5 in Seattle, and $2 in Los Angeles, you can maintain your self-respect and get what you deserve at the same time.
Vaginal tightening.
If you're plaintiff and you lose your case, you cannot appeal. If you're a defendant and you lose your case, you can appeal your case in Superior Court.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Bailiff Randy.
Welcome to Small Claims Court. Let's start calling our cases. The first case we have this morning is Jane Hurd versus System Auto Parks. Would you please come forward?
This is the best bargain in the American justice system.
Da-da-da.
Small Claims Court. also known as the People's Court. Our Fight Back tele-remote crew got special permission to show you how you can fight back and win by using the system. This small claims court in Los Angeles is the busiest in the United States. It handles more than 35,000 cases a year. And anyone can file in small claims court. In this court, it just costs $2 to bring your case in. What do you file for? Your mechanic didn't fix your car right. Take him or her to court. The neighbor knocked down your fence and won't pay. Take him to court. If you're prepared, you can fight.
Oh, this guy's been through some shit, you could tell. Look at that grizzled fucking face. This guy don't take no shit.
Back and win.
I was parking in the Broadway Plaza, which is operated by System Auto Parts Incorporated. And the Broadway has an automatic ticket dispensing machine for parking. This particular day, however, it was...
Wouldn't it be? It'd be funny if the old man just he just refers to her as just the female. He doesn't call her by her name. Well, the female here
was broken.
The only reason that the spitter would be open like that would be the fact that either the ribbon was broken or a ticket was jammed up in there, and they would be using the manual on it.
I see.
There would be a man there, and he would put a cone out so that the cars would go around it.
Remember, in most states, you cannot bring a lawyer to represent you in small claims court. You have to fight your own battle. Now, that can be fun to prepare your own case, but you must be prepared.
Do you have a repair bill?
I have 4 estimates.
Would you give that to the marshal?
If you have witnesses, bring them to court. If you have pictures or police reports, any supporting documents, bring them with you. But don't exaggerate your claims and know your side of the story thoroughly.
The attendant was standing next to the machine, dispensing tickets manually, sort of holding the top of that metal ticket dispenser.
I hope somebody gets a death penalty in this verdict. That's how I feel right now.
Dispensing machine with his elbow.
Okay. And how does
Yeah. Yeah, he's got the little guillotine. Yeah. Judge Al Lewis.
your car then come in contact with the machine?
I pulled up next to the attendant. Mm-hmm. He handed me a ticket. As he handed me a ticket, the machine fell.
Oh, the machine fell over. I see.
Yes,
well, that liability would seem clear, Mr. Morgan. If the machine falls on a person's car, it would appear the liability would be cleared.
I believe the female here is being deceptive.
Mrs. Heard seems like a very sincere person, and I'm going to allow the lowest estimate, $322.20. So there'll be judgment for the plaintiff in that behalf, sir. Just see the clerk.
So is small claims court worth your time and trouble? Let's hear from the people involved.
The major strength is that it gives...
No, they didn't, yeah. They just kind of like gave a clip of, you know.
It's a safety valve of our democratic society. It gives people the right for an amount of $2 to be heard in court.
Well, it's about as good a way as we have. I don't know what other court you could go to involving such small claims, you know.
I'm jubilant and very satisfied. I think it was a very just settlement, and I'm really happy about it.
Now, you have two chances of winning when you go to small claims court. You win if the judge decides in your favor, and you win.
No shit.
If your opponent doesn't show up. That's called default. But even if you win, you can have difficulty in collecting your money. Now, we've shown you how to win, and we're going to show you how to get your cash on an upcoming edition of Fight Back.
Where's the popcorn, Horowitz?
All of us have something that can make us get so mad at times we can just chew up the carpet. Now, one person...
Okay.
Our teleremote crew came across had one of those annoying problems, and she couldn't wait to fight back to get even.
Get ripped off by machines, vending machines, the telephone, parking meters, all the machines that rip you off for a penny, a nickel, a dime.
What do you do about it?
I find out where they belong and I tell them I want my money back. Give me an address, a phone number, anything. If I have to send a $10 too, I want my penny back.
Do you get it?
Yes, I do. I get them in stamps, and sometimes I get them in coins, and then I get a letter of apology. Figure every 10th person who's a dime in a machine, that's money.
And good for her. And if that ever happens to you, don't just walk away, fight back. Find out who runs the machines and demand your money back.
Shit, yeah.
Okay, there are many sun worshippers who will do anything to get that healthy, sexy, golden look. It's now turning into a billion-dollar business. But if you get tanned at a suntan parlor, know what you're doing. You can get burned. We'll show you how as we fight back right after this.
Okay, part 3 of the episode.
You know, you can't pick up the newspaper, look through a magazine, or turn on the TV set without someone trying to sell you a suntan. If it's not the people who make suntan lotion, then it's those new suntan parlors. But dermatologists say they'd be happier if we all stayed out of the sun. Who's right? We went looking for the answer. The search for the bronze look is big business in this country because most of us want to look young.
Yeah, it was kind of, and unfortunately, I can't find a whole lot of these early episodes, like these late 70s, early 80s episodes. A lot of the ones that I'm finding are like late 80s. I love the idea that the actual sun won't work fast enough. I know, it's... Need more solar radiation.
Healthy, sexy, and
hey,
beautiful. But if you want to look that way, there is also the risk of premature aging, wrinkles, skin damage, and even skin cancer. Statistics show people who live in the sunny states are 4 to 5 times more likely to develop serious skin diseases. Even so, the quest for the healthy look, that bronze tan, continues no matter where you live.
One of those guys' names is Ron.
That's why tanning parlors have been giving the sun some competition. Not just in the north and the east, but also in states where you can go to the beach all year round. The tanning parlors offer ultraviolet light treatments to give you a tan. The operators claim that restricting the time allowed each customer and by gradually increasing the exposure, they can guarantee a safe tan.
The sun also tends to age you too.
Oh, this guy's a shifty bastard, you could tell. Being thin is more effective than having a tan. Yes, it's also more difficult. That's the key. You know? Well, staying thin, not so much. You know, I mean, if you're thin, you know, if you're not thin and you lose weight, it's keeping it off, you know.
There's gamma rays, infrared rays. We do not have gamma or infrared in our bulbs. And it's just like a farmer. The farmers, if you notice, have a lot of wrinkles, but they are in the sun all the time. Now, if people moisturize quite a bit, they're not going to age that much. It's going to take over a period, I'm sure, of years.
Look, what I do here is legitimate, okay?
To age. But if they go by the rules that we do have here, then...
This guy seems awfully nervous, man. He's definitely hiding something. And it's in that file cabinet.
They shouldn't have any problem with wrinkling.
The Food and Drug Administration has set some restrictions for tanning parlors, but nothing more than a business license is required in most states, and there is no special training needed. The operators are just that, business people. This place has a questionnaire for its customers. It asks if the clients have any allergies, if they are taking medication, whether they've had cosmetic surgery, or whether they are pregnant. This is important protection for the business and the customer.
So it's not like a tanning bed? They just kind of stand in a room?
Because 1 minute in a tanning booth is like an hour in the sun. And if you have a problem, it can be dangerous exposure. Now, most customers start off at least 60 seconds and work their way up to 10 minutes. It takes 6 to 8 hours to see the tan after the exposure. Protective eye goggles are a necessity. You must wear them to avoid eye damage. And dermatologists say, no matter what you get in a tanning booth or on the beach, the browner you get, the more damage.
Yeah, it's a booth. I know, just everything's a tanning bed now. Do they have tanning booths anymore?
You are doing to your skin.
The sun has many rays in it, and there are certain rays.
They have gamma rays, sweet baby rays, all kinds.
Rays that do the tanning, and they're the same rays that produce aging of the skin, and the same rays that predispose you to develop skin cancer. And these are the rays that the tanning parlors are now using, and therefore they are hazardous.
Now, if you have to have a suntan, Dr. Newcomer suggests that when you're outdoors, you avoid those late morning and early afternoon hours when the sun is the most damaging. If you get your tan from a tanning parlor, make sure it has a timer and you use it. Wear safety goggles and be sure that the sun lamps have safety shields around them. Play it safe, and you will not be sorry.
Or just don't fucking do it. You know, get in shape, lose some weight. You know, you'll look a lot better. You don't need a fucking tan. Fucking crackers in their tanning booths.
And now, we move over to our well-organized Fight Back fact file for a pre-selected letter. And we get some sensational mail. Here is a letter from Kay Matlin, who wrote to our Fight Back file. And this is what Kay says. About a year ago...
What year? As you can see up here, April 1980. And it looks very 80. Oh, yeah, look at that. I can read that. That's very clear and legible. It's great. Yeah.
Though I became so dissatisfied with my Singer sewing machine that I decided to fight back. It was my second machine of the same model because the first one had to have 5 major repairs to it, and Singer finally replaced it. The second machine gave me so much trouble that I wrote to the Singer district manager and to their customer service department. I got no response, Kay says. Since Singer sewing machines carry the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, I wrote to Good Housekeeping magazine. I couldn't understand why Singer wouldn't give me a refund on my defective machine.
'Cause you a bitch.
When Good Housekeeping advertised they would. Finally, after much wrangling with the Singer company, I shipped the machine to Good Housekeeping. After inspecting it, the magazine people refunded my full purchase price.
God, you know this whole process probably took months, too. You know, it's like pre-internet, man.
Price of $799.95. It took over 7 months, but my fighting back really paid off. Fight Back wants to commend Good Housekeeping for its consumer awareness, but we also want to make...
See, now she had like a legit gripe, but see, if you had somebody that's just complaining just to be an asshole, you know, back in the day, you had to really put in the work, the effort, right? But thanks to the internet, you know, social media, you could just be a random asshole and just bitch on social media whenever you want. But back then, you had to put the time and the effort into it. And if you were just being a troll, it was like, it's not worth it.
Make it clear that in cases involving the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, they will replace the product or give a refund only when they find the product to be defective. And in this case, they found the Singer sewing machine to be defective.
Yay! Fuck Singer.
And now it is time for our Fight Back commercial challenge. Orville Redenbacher claims...
All right, hold on for a second, because I gotta watch this. That's $800. Yeah, and that's $800 in 1980. So what's that like? What's that like? What's that like? 10 grand now or something? I don't know. Hold on for a second. Okay, get the cans back on here. All right.
Claims that his popcorn pops bigger and more kernels than other brands. Well, we're going to challenge that claim. Now, first of all, there is...
I remember those fucking... Yeah, we definitely know who they're appealing to. I remember those popcorn poppers. We had one of those.
An Orville Redenbacher. But he sold his company to Hunt Wesson Foods. They made the commercial, and they were very cooperative with us. What we're going to do is to compare Orville Redenbacher's popping power with an equal amount of Jolly Time and also Epley's popcorn, all prepared the same.
Epley's? Never heard of Epley's. I heard of Jolly Time. Look at that bullshit cheap-ass bag. You can't even put it in a jar, you fucks.
Way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply pour into each popper 1 cup of the magic popcorn. We'll do the Redenbacher, missed a few kernels. We'll make it up over here. And we'll go into the Jolly Time. And now...
It does sound like a skin condition.
Into the Epley's. And here it is. All right. Now... the prices on these are really very interesting to compare. Also,
I mean, clearly we know who survived the great popcorn wars of 1980, and it sure as shit wasn't Epley's.
so Orville Redenbacher's popcorn costs 99 cents for 15 ounces. Jolly Time costs 85 cents for 15 ounces. And Epperle's cost 57 cents for a big 32-ounce bag. Now,
yeah, but it's dog shit popcorn.
Now, with that in mind, let's start them all popping together. Are you ready? Okay.
I was just going to say they got to play hot buttered popcorn.
And when we come back, we'll find out if Orville Redenbacher is just popping off when he claims that his
popping off.
Popcorn is a better popper.
Las Vegas is a dynamic, growing city.
Oh no. Is there a part 4? Please tell me there's a part 4. You can't leave me hanging there. Oh, here's the closer. Okay. Holy shit, what is this? Part of a commercial. Las Vegas is my beat.
Vegas for years, Ralph.
That's a porno director if I've ever seen one. Look at that dude.
Vegas for years, Ralph.
Oh, somebody's got to screenshot that dude. That music too, I love it.
Our electric poppers are heating up, and in just a few moments, we should know how Orville Redenbacher's popcorn pops up against Jolly Time and Epley's. And while we're waiting, here's the Orville Redenbacher commercial that inspired us to do this challenge for you.
Hello, I'm Orville Redenbacher with Danny, the Great.
That's the porno director. Great. Was that Norm Crosby? I didn't even realize that. Yeah, see, I... Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, he was older there, though. Definitely. All right, anyways, back to Orville.
Magician. Can he tell?
Valparaiso's own Orville Redenbacher, even though he wasn't technically born in this town, he's just, apparently the town has claimed him.
Know which popcorn is my famous gourmet popping corn?
I think he moved his business. I think he started his popcorn empire in Valpo, if I'm not mistaken.
Ta-da!
And in his honor, every year they have the Popcorn Fest, which is full of popcorn and some decent local food and a bunch of fucking wine moms selling overpriced macaroni jewelry. Ugh, and fucking bullshit like American flag knickknacks and just god-awful crap.
There! Yours pops like magic.
Right. Mine pops so much bigger and fluffier, it's blowing the top off of the popper.
Wow! Most every kernel pops. How'd you do that?
Taste my gourmet popping corn. You'll like it better or my name isn't...
Mr. Redenbacher? Mr. Redenbacher?
Remember, we put equal amounts of Orville Redenbachers, Jolly Time, and Epleys in these identical poppers. And look at them go.
Exhilarating.
Let's see now. At this stage, it looks like Jolly Time's in the lead. Epleys is coming up real fast. And Orville Redenbacher is popping furiously to catch up. Here they go, folks. Higher and higher. What will the verdict be? Jolly Time is just about pooped out.
Popcorn isn't the only thing rising, folks.
And so is Epleys. Orville Redenbacher is popping its lid, and the others are just creeping up really slowly. We should give this a fair chance, because Orville Redenbacher's is just about over the top. Okay? Let's pull the plugs. These two are still going, and they're all pooped out. And you want to know something? Orville Redenbacher popcorn really does pop bigger than the other brands. So it does pass the Fight Back commercial challenge. But we could not find out why. Obviously.
So my question is, and I forgot with these popcorn, maybe he'll show it. How do you take the top off without fucking popcorn going everywhere?
It's a trade secret that Hunt Wesson does not want to share with us. But Redenbacher's, as I said, is also one of the most expensive. And we feel when you buy popcorn, taste should be the main consideration. So you decide. And I am going to taste this. That looks great. Now.
Oh, but you didn't do it, though. You're just, yeah.
Let me just say this to you. If you've had a bad experience with a product, if you have a gripe you'd like to share with us, or if you have fought back and won, or if you want us to challenge a commercial like the Orville Redenbacher commercial, here's where to write. Fight Back, Burbank, California, 91523. That's also where to write if you want tickets to be in our Fight Back studio audience. And remember, stay aware and informed, and fight back, and don't let anyone rip you off.
Yay. I need him to remove the top, because how do you do it without popcorn going everywhere?
Stay tuned for the Independent Network News via satellite next on TV5.
Oh, they all got the fucking... I bet you the crowd got the Epleys. They got the shit popcorn. All right. April 1980. So we got... All right, let's move on to the next one. That theme is so much better. Okay, what do we got here?
All right, kick. Gita, move up. Move up. Kick it.
So this is 1989. So yeah, this is, and we got an elephant playing with its shit.
Come here. Move up. Kick it. Gita, move up. Kick. All right, pick it up. Come here. Pick it up. Get over.
Ugh.
All right, Gita, trunk.
Yeah, the hair dye's kicking in. The hair dye's pretty strong in this one.
Steady. David, come on in. I think Gita wants to give you a hug.
Oh, this should be fun. Want to give me a hug, Gita? You want to give me a hug?
Come over here.
Okay. All right, Gita. Here we
That fucking elephant's about to fight back.
Raise your hands a little bit.
Raise my
Gita
hand.
belt.
Gita belt.
Belt.
Mm.
Belt. You're new. Take her a couple times. Belt. Gita belt.
You see, you
Belt.
have to get Gita to
Belt.
love you. Oh, Gita.
Gita trunk. All right, belt. Belt. Steady.
Oh,
Steady.
Gita. God, are you a sensual thing.
Steady.
I just love being in the trunk of an
Steady.
elephant.
Steady.
Oh, does it feel good, Gita? Thank you for giving me
All
this
right,
little
leave it.
love.
All right.
Thank you, Gita. See you later. Oh, that was wonderful. She's developed a routine now, like a professional.
All right, Gita trunk.
She
Trunk.
wraps it, she knocks it, and tosses it.
All right, Gita, move up.
After this, I'm gonna play the infamous clip I talked about at the beginning of the show.
Get up. David, once you come get the bag, I think Gita wants to give it to you.
Or if this ends up being boring, like, why is he fucking with an elephant? Anyway.
To put our After Gita gave me that affectionate hug and kiss with her trunk, I decided it was time to change my clothes. Well, Gita has gone into her dressing room to put on her specially designed Fight Back t-shirt. We'll have her model it for our counterfeit dress story coming up later in the show. Now it's time for some Fight Back feedback. We looked at a unique self-defense class for women called Model Muggers on a past program. Many viewers wanted to know about the men who play the role of the attackers. They are savagely beaten and kicked during model mugging sessions.
Yeah.
We decided to visit a model mugging class again to show you how and why these male volunteers go through such punishment.
Because they're into it.
The purpose of model muggers is to teach
Oh yeah,
women to fight.
could you imagine him like talking dirty with that straight voice, just like, you know, oh yes.
Off attackers. They use the same rough, down
Choke me.
and dirty methods as street fighters. With models as muggers, they learn what it feels like to
Oh yeah.
actually hit
Oh yeah, these guys are just having such a tough time.
and hurt another person. And what are they trying to accomplish?
Before model mugging, I never knew how to fight. Growing up, I've never had a fight in my life, and I was never taught how. I was always taught that my father would be there to defend me, or my brother, or my boyfriend, or my husband. And I want to be able to defend myself and take responsibility for myself. So I don't feel I have to have someone with me all the time. I can go where I want to go, whenever I want to go.
That's right,
And that's a good feeling. Very empowering. I had a real hard time learning some of this because I've been a
She's clearly fighting a Ninja Turtle.
nurse for years. And to think about
Damn.
hurting another human being, it bothered me. Some of my first attacks in class, I would apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, you know, to the muggers. And they'd
Now I just kicked the bitch in the balls.
start yelling at me not to do that. And I had to push past being a nurse to learn how to take care of myself and fight effectively.
But what about the person in the model mugger suit? Most people ask two questions. First, how do they keep from getting hurt from all that kicking and punching?
As you can see, we are dealing with a lot of custom-designed equipment here. Custom-designed shoulder protectors and breastplates and groin protectors. Our legs are protected by specially made shin guards and knee guards. We use quite a bit of bracing and taping to keep all this together so that we won't get hurt.
We're so well padded that we can take full contact blows to all the vital areas without the muggers getting hurt, and also were so well padded that the women...
I just want to see a guy just like slam into one. Like, you don't even have to swing. All you got to do is just like, just a football charge, just right into him like a defensive lineman.
Women don't hurt their wrists or their fists or their knees or their feet.
So did they have to make the brown? Did they have the brown guy gets the brown helmet? Like, that's a little inappropriate, don't you think?
And kicking us.
The second question is, why would a person ever want to do this kind of work in the first place?
I feel very strongly about what I'm doing. I'm married and have kids, and the circle of violence that we speak of is ongoing, and we need to find a way to stop it.
I love the work. The cause is one that I've held dear for a lot of years, and to me I define that cause as helping women to be more responsible, to get in touch with the masculine side, to be safe enough to really get in touch with their feminine side.
I do look out for myself, but it goes deeper than that. You get a lot of satisfaction from knowing that you have helped and that you can see in their eyes that it's made a difference.
As I said the first time we showed you a model mugging class, I don't know whether model mugging is for everyone, but it's obvious that women are no longer allowing themselves to be passive victims. They are fighting back.
I don't know what this has to do with... okay, they're fighting back. I get it. Like, you did... I just want to get, like... I was hoping, like, maybe he was going to do, like, an in-depth, like, was it really effective? Like, they show the class, they show the guys, and then David Horowitz, like, gears up and he just starts kicking the shit out of these women. Like, yeah, see, this class sucks.
And I applaud their courage. I also have to applaud the dedication of the men who take the beating to show women that they can fight back and possibly save their lives. Okay, now, it's time for Gita to once again show off her designer T-shirt. And there she is.
Oh.
We know it is the genuine article because we designed the T-shirt ourselves, and she loves it. And why not? After all, designer labels are a way of life. They convey image, status, and quality. Right, Gita? But now let's get serious. How can you tell if that designer garment is the real thing?
Man, that hair dye is on point. Literally, man. He he has the dude. He's like, it took 10 years off, man. He looked older in 1980.
Certainly not by the label. The labels are as easy to copy as the clothes themselves. Almost as soon as a new fashion line is shown in Paris or Rome or New York, someone, somewhere, will be turning out copies. Not 2 or 3 at a time, but by the hundreds or thousands.
The merchandise that's being counterfeit labeled is getting into the stores as fast, if not faster, than the original goods.
Agents for the legitimate manufacturers may raid local shops.
I'm not getting entertained by this episode here. So let me know. Oh yeah, by the way, there's actually 2 David Horowitzes. There's this David Horowitz, the cool one. And then there's another David Horowitz who's like some kind of fucking like neoconservative fucking commentator. He just whatever. He's a fuck him. So yeah, this is the guy though. But after this I'm gonna play the. You know what? Fuck it. This is boring.
That are turning out phony brand.
I don't give a shit about fashion. Anyways, I'm gonna give a little setup to this. On August 19th, 1987, during the 4 p.m. edition of KNBC's Channel 4 News, a gun-wielding man named Gary Stolman got into NBC's Burbank studios as a guest of an employee and took Horowitz hostage live on the air. With the gun pressed on his side, Horowitz calmly read the gunman's statements on camera, but unbeknownst to the gunman, the news feed had been taken off the air. The unidentified man revealed at the end of his statement that the gun was empty and it was a BB gun, and set the gun down on the news desk. at which point Anchorman John Beard quickly confiscated it. The incident led Horowitz to start a campaign to ban realistic toy guns. So here we go.
They've gone into studios in other cities where those guns have been...
Okay. We'll see. We'll watch a couple news pieces on this.
Gary Stolman suddenly appeared on the set of KNBC's evening newscast just as consumer reporter David Horowitz was being introduced.
Pardon me? What is this? Let me see what it says. All right.
He's got a gun to his back.
All right, well, let me read this.
Motherfucker's cool as a cucumber, too, man. You kidding me? Look at him. He's just like, oh, what's this? Okay, I'll read it. Sure.
All right.
He's got a gun to his back.
All right, well, let me read this. Folks, we have someone on the set who's standing here and would like me to read.
To be honest, everybody's keeping it cool. Look, she's just sitting casually. He's got the legs going. Like, they're keeping it cool, man. These are pros right here.
To read this this copy which was just handed to me. You want to tell me your name or not? What is it? And Gary, where are you from?
KNBC then cut away from its newscast.
You know, it was like the Twilight Zone. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I didn't realize, I said to myself, this is not really happening to me.
Stolman's statement was a bizarre tale of space creatures and the...
Oh, wait, let's read it. Can we get a slightly better... Nope, that's the resolution. Okay, the high who has appeared... Is it the man who has who has appeared on KNBC for the last 3 years is not my biological father. He is a clone, a double created by the Central CIA and alien forces. It is only a small part of, I can't believe I can know how to read this, of a greater plot to overthrow the United States government and possibly the human race itself. Well, I wanted to lead up with this, man. You can't blow your load right at the beginning, because then like everything else would have just been downhill. See, what I think this Gary Stolman, what I think his problem was that he misinterpreted the title of the show, right? It's Fight Back with David Horowitz. It's not Fight the Back of David Horowitz. Greater plot to overthrow the United States government and possibly the human race itself. The CIA has... I can't repeat and tried to destroy my family and those of my friends, although I have been... I don't know, something about this since, maybe quiet about this since 1981. I have not taken something about it for fear of the lives of my family. I have been forced into CIA.
Minutes after he handed
CIA.
it to Horowitz, the police arrived, and Stolman put the pistol down and was led away. A KNBC sportscaster who watched the drama unfold said no one realized Stolman's gun was just...
I remember this fucker.
Just a toy.
Well, people were terrified. You know, there have been situations where they've gone into studios in other cities where those guns have been real guns, and the control booth immediately, it was kind of like, oh my God, he's got a gun. They immediately said, go to black and kill the mics.
Stolman was no stranger to the people here. His father used to work...
I mean, if I would have started out with this, like, that would have been the end of the show. I'd have been like, all right, see you next week.
For the station, and the younger Stolman had been given permission to watch the broadcast from the studio. Stolman's father later released a statement that said his son had a history of mental problems. A police spokesman, meanwhile, who said Stolman's been charged with a threatening action with intent to terrorize, indicated Stolman did not intend physical harm.
He saw us arriving, he put the gun down and said, I don't want to hurt anybody, and that was it.
Moments after the police left the station, the KNBC newscast resumed with a report on the incident. Ann McDermott, CNN, Burbank, California.
Coverage of the incident that thousands of Channel 4 viewers watched in shock. A gunman walking onto our news set and ordering David Horowitz to read a statement on live television. We'll show you what happened, and we'll have details on the man who did it.
A full report on that story and the rest of the day's top news next on Nightside. Please.
I remember that guy. I know him.
Morrison. Kelly Lang. Fritz Coleman Weather.
Whitey McWhiterson.
Has been quite a day here at Channel 4, and tonight security is being beefed up at KNVC after a gunman walked into our news studio right here this afternoon and on live television at gunpoint ordered consumer reporter David Horowitz to read a message live on television. Nobody was hurt.
Her hair looks like coral. It's about as hard as it, too.
That gunman is in police custody tonight, and Jess's cover story takes a look at what hundreds of thousands of shocked Channel 4 news viewers watched on television on the 4 o'clock news. Jess?
Kelly, the man who had been permitted to watch the broadcast in the studio had given no indication of his intent. He had been sitting quietly until David Horowitz was ready to begin broadcasting his consumer segment.
Because, you know, one of the nicest things about shopping by mail order... Pardon me? What is this? Let me see what it says. All right.
He's got a gun to his back.
All right, well, let me read this. Folks, we have someone on the set who's standing here and would like me to read this copy which was just handed to me. You want to tell me your name or not? What is it? And Gary, where are you from?
At that point, the control room was ordered to go to black, kill the studio mics, and put up a standby slide. But Horowitz continued to read, and the gunman kept the gun in his back.
I was warned in 1981 by someone with connections at the CIA to stay off the computers.
I love how this guy's just acting so intrigued by all this. Like they're just keeping it, you know.
That they didn't trust people on computers. When I began receiving disturbing calls from my parents, which led me to believe that something terrible was going on. I was then forced into a mental hospital in Tallahassee, where I learned that my brother-in-law had been driven insane in the same manner that someone was trying to do to me.
The gun was a precise replica, and police, who by then had entered the facilities, made plans to deal with the situation.
Man, that just looks like a real fucking gun. God damn. That's how they made them back then.
But when the statement had been read, the gunman placed the gun on the desk, and anchorman John Beard grabbed it.
Right.
Burbank police wrestled the man to the floor. He has been identified as Gary Stolman, and he said he never intended to harm anyone. Indeed, the gun proved a fake. But Stolman may still face a variety of charges. He is the son of pharmacist Max Stolman, a former member of the Channel 4 news team reporting on medicine and related issues. Max Stolman said, "I do have a sick son. He has been hospitalized a number of times. I am thankful he wasn't killed." At a news conference this evening, Horowitz, who appeared to maintain his calm throughout the ordeal, acknowledged his fair share of anxiety.
And I've covered enough hostage situations, and I've been in Vietnam, and I know that when someone points a gun at you, you do what they tell you to do and hope that someone's going to save you. You're thinking about your wife and your kids and your family, and you say, what am I doing here? Why is this happening to me? And you just try to maintain as much cool as you possibly can, because I realize that if you do anything out of course, as far as this person's concerned, I don't know whether the guy was a terrorist or a wacko or...
In this case, I decided not to fight back.
Somebody that was trying to get even for something. You don't know who's there.
News director Tom Capra explained his order to pull the plug.
Is that we cannot allow people with guns or weapons of any kind to take a television station hostage. So the first thing you do is go to black and kill the mics to make sure that the message, whatever it is, never gets out.
Co-anchors John Beard and Kirsty Wilde sat through the ordeal, Kirsty worrying that she had okayed Stolman getting into the studio.
He called me.
She should have just she should have just went head first at him. The bullets would have just deflected off her hair.
To get in. You can't just walk in here. He called me and said that he was Max Stolman's son and he lived in the East and that he had never had the opportunity to see his dad while he was on our air, and could he come down and watch the show?
He had a pass. I noticed the pass on his chest. That's right. And nobody noticed anything out of the ordinary until David is on. He's standing behind David, and at first we thought it was just someone who was mixed up, confused, didn't realize he was in the way.
Once the crisis had ended, there was time for reflection and concern for Max Stolman, the gunman's father.
Max is a terrific guy.
Max is just...
Yeah, she douches. Definitely. Yeah. You know, it just be like, you know, you just can't keep it clean. You just got to keep it clean down there, honey. You don't even need to fuck with the douche. Just keep it clean. Just scrub it, you know?
Just one of the nicest people in the entire world.
Absolutely.
And it is...
It's just a shame that his son's a little batshit.
Awful that this should happen to anyone connected with Max. He's just, and you know, we love him.
Gary Stolman remains in custody. Charges may await a psychiatric evaluation. No one was injured, as Kelly indicated, and the principal...
So I wonder if anything happened to Gary Stolman. Okay, I'm gonna look it up here. Okay, Pasadena. A man who pointed a toy gun at a TV reporter, David Horowitz, ordered him blah, blah, blah. Gary Stolman, 34, pleaded guilty to misdemeanor count of false imprisonment in the August 19th incident. Felony charge was dismissed. He was sentenced Tuesday by L.A. County Superior Court Judge Jack B. Tso, as in General Tso's chicken. KNBC went off the air soon after Stolman walked. Okay. So what happened? It doesn't... Yeah, so he basically just kind of... Yeah, they just dismissed it. Wow.
Was involved are tonight regaining their composure. Security has been tightened to the extent no one is permitted...
Yeah, he didn't have the three names. They should have... Yeah, the middle name, Gary Patrick Stolman.
...in the studios without a permanent pass. Visitors' passes will no longer be accepted. Keith, Kelly?
All right, Jess, thank you. And a footnote to all of this, L.A. police say that all of their 911 lines lit up as television viewers watched what was happening and called to tell police what was happening. We'll be following up this story tomorrow. Kelly?
Shit, yeah. Now I want to watch hostage crises.
Just kind of kick back. We throw to David.
Oh no! Hold on. What was that? What was this?
Us to relay to you. Mr. Gwynn, is it all right for our guest to leave?
Oh Jesus Christ! It's like 46 minutes. Never mind. Okay, on May 28, 1982, about 5 p.m., Joseph Billy Gwynn, wanting to prevent World War III, forced his way onto Cool TV Studios in Phoenix, Arizona. After a 4.5-hour hostage crisis, Cool TV finally relented and agreed to go live on air about 9:30 p.m. Anchorman Bill Close on the telephone with police and a gun. Oh, so this is the dude. He's got a gun pointed at him. Damn. I wish they'd do like a highlights of it.
So, you've come back for more, have you? As a way to spread messages or propaganda?
Oh, by the way, speaking of like crazy shit on broadcast news, I'm going to have to do something next week, barring any unforeseen incidents next week. I believe it's the 20... Sorry, not next week. Shit. No, it's way off. Yeah, the Saturday of the 20th. Sorry. I'm going to play that. I'm looking at on the Saturday of November 20th, which is not next week, but the following weekend, is I think it's the 34th anniversary of the Max Headroom incident. So we'll be doing a little bit of that.
Thursday.
Okay, here we go. So, okay, I'm going to play that and I'm going to go pee.
Hey. Do something.
Mork bites the mauler to save Mindy.
What did he say?
Well, he said he's on his way over to pull my lungs out through my nose.
Then, will the honeymoon end when an old flame gets Brad lit?
Man's a degenerate.
He's got him steamed on Angie.
Tonight.
Good morning. Today on AM Chicago, we'll talk to a judge who says our American system of justice too often releases convicted killers, even potential mass killers, back into society. We'll also talk about the insanity defense and the question of releasing mental patients. Also this morning, cover girl, supermodel Naomi Sims. And now let me see if I can get this right. Just be patient with me. Well, that's about the best I can do, but we have somebody here this morning who can do it a lot better than I can. Nancy Faust. She's the organist for the Chicago White Sox, and she's becoming almost as popular as the team. We'll find out why next on AM Chicago.
All right.
Like dancing? You'll love dancing. Bob Fosse directed it.
Fosse.
I'm a modern woman who appreciates a few old-fashioned things.
There's nothing modern about this whole scene here.
Quality for one thing, getting my money's worth for another. That's why I like to serve bonded meat.
But I don't bother with, getting my own bank account or being independent. That's a man's job.
It's from Eagle. I get quality meats at sensible low prices. And Eagle value trims each cut, so I take home more of what I pay for. Quality meats, well trimmed and sensibly priced. The way I look at it, that's good old-fashioned value.
Good food at a good price. A basic idea from
Eagle. Holy shit, man. Eagle grocery stores. We had one back in the day, man. We grew up walking distance from an Eagle grocery store.
Eagle, the food experts.
Wix Furniture has every mattress and box spring on sale now through Monday. Whether it's twin, full, queen, or king size, there's no better time to save on our entire line of bedding in foam, inner spring, or even flotation. So choose the price, choose the size.
Man, look at all those beds.
Choose the firmness, and choose the comfort that suits you.
You can choose my firmness.
All bedding is on sale and available now at Wix Furniture, your bedding headquarters.
Ah, look at that. And my hometown, our hometown, buddy. Maryville, Indiana, the town that never was.
From the Earth to the Moon, Thursday, 3:30. Good morning. It's AM Chicago with Sandy Freeman and without ailing Rob Weller. And now let's go to the old ballpark with Sen.
And we are going to go to the ballpark in just a moment, but first I wanted to wish...
Look at that smile she had.
And now let's go to the old ballpark with Sen.
And we are going to go to the ballpark in just a moment, but first I wanted to wish Rob Weller, I hope you are feeling better. He still has that little bug that bit him the other day. It's still bothering him. He has a bit of the flu. So he is taking it easy and resting, and hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. If not tomorrow, definitely by Monday.
I know. Did you hear that? That snare? This is 1979. 80s hair hadn't taken over yet. It was starting to, but not quite.
Monday, but take care of yourself, okay? So you can get back here and partake in some of this craziness that's been going on around here. Now,
what year was that? Wait a minute. Okay, I'm going to play this. I got to look it up, though.
For all of you out there, if you've ever been to a White Sox game, or if you've been to a Bulls or a DePaul game, do you really go to see the players, or do you go to listen to our first guest this morning? Nancy Faust has been able to have her own fan club. She's very popular.
I was thinking about, when I said that, I was thinking about that AM Chicago episode with Anthony Geary at the North Court Mall, or Northbrook Court Mall. That was in 1981. So.
Here in Chicago. And when you go to a White Sox game, I imagine you could hear her playing something that I was playing a little bit earlier, only she can do it a lot better. And I cheated because I had some numbers written on the keys, but I wasn't going to tell
look at all that fucking wood paneling. It's so 1979.
anybody that.
That's a good system, Cindy.
Did you see that? I figured that out right before we went on the air, and I just numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was the only way I could play Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Oh, good. Then I know you won't take...
Thanks for putting tape all over my fucking, for my shit.
Take my job away from me.
No, I won't be able to do that. You don't have to use a numbering system for something like that, do you?
Boy, I hope this hair never, ever comes back. S my D, Rob Weller. Yeah. Just focus on my anger and rage towards Rob Weller.
Use my ear.
You don't read music, do you?
Well, I don't at the ballpark. It's much easier for me to just rely on my ear, although I can, but to a limited degree.
So what happens? You hear one of the top 40 songs.
By the way, he's 72 years old now, Rob Weller. And he looks too good for that age. He's made some sort of deal with the devil.
And then you just listen to it or buy the record or something like that and you're able to play it?
Well, I buy the 45 and I listen to it numerous times and eventually I can get it and
45 numerous
David,
times.
I was out at the White Sox Park to sing the national anthem. Right before we're ready to go on the air, it's going to be televised on Channel 44 and everything else. Nancy and I are talking back and forth and figuring out what key I'm going to sing it in and everything else. What happened right before we went on the air?
She was so good she subbed for Cubs games back then. I believe it. I always like this though,
Well, it was just a godsend that you were able to sing the song without my accompaniment. And we were talking before the game about deciding what key that you should sing it in and what key I should accompany you in. But before you sang the national anthem, the Canadian national anthem was to be played. And right during the Canadian national anthem, the organ conked out, which is kind of an organist's nightmare.
We have a picture of that day right now up on the screen. Bill Beck was kind enough to send that over to me, and I really love it because it was a thrill for me. I don't think people can realize until you're standing there and you see all of the fans and you can hear the sound coming back at you
it's
of the national anthem. It is a wonderful feeling, though. It makes you have a very proud feeling inside.
Yeah, I think it gives you some power to think that you're all over the park with thousands of people.
Tell us about the time in the 7th inning stretch when Harry Carey got ready to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Everybody stands up and Harry leads it off. What happened one time?
Well, Harry doesn't have the gift that you have, and he needs music to accompany him. And, well, this was a twilight double.
And lots of beer, lots of booze.
Header game, and my timing was just kind of off that night, so I just took a trip to the ladies' room, and it was time for the 7th inning stretch song, and so he had to start without me, and that upset everybody in the park, especially Mr. Veck. That hasn't happened since. So Harry carried on by himself, and then I picked up toward the end of the song.
Did he start it off in the right key?
No, it was a funny key. It was very hard for me to follow him. Something with
it was the key of
with a lot of flats and sharps.
It was the key of
to the black note.
What are some of the things you play in the middle of a game for, like, pick a player right now? Give me a player's name, and what would you normally play for him when he's walking up to bat?
Well, Harry Chappis was, a great one to play for because he was so short, but now he's not around. But I would play something like Short People. Would you like to hear that?
Sure. Did he get upset when you did that?
I don't know.
See, that was great, man. Like you can totally troll the shit out of like the other team. You could just totally rip on them just through music. That's awesome.
And you have to do short renditions, don't you? Because
yes.
There is a time when you cannot play. What time is that?
Well, I try not to interfere with the pitcher. When he's winding up, then I just cut off the music. And when there's action on the field, I don't play. But there are a lot of dead spots, but they're very short, so I just try to fit in little ditties here and there.
What would you play if someone hit a home run?
Well, if a home run is hit, I don't do too much, only because the scoreboard explodes. And so that takes precedence over what I would do. But once in a while, we'll go into the na-na routine.
Oh, why did you do the na-na?
I know, man. She's a pro, and honestly, when you're that good, like, it had to be fun. It had to be a lot of fun to just, again, like, to be able to troll people. Like, I don't even have to say a word. I could just play a song that just fucks with the opposing team or whoever.
Na-na routine. Okay. That's everybody's favorite.
Oh, sure. You want to sing it?
No, you sing it. Come on, everyone.
Let's sing it the whitest way possible.
Na 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 na. Come on. Hey, hey. That is about the weakest group of Sox fans I have ever heard
They must
sing
be
that song in my life.
Northsiders.
No, they're not. I mean, Bonnie Kaplan on our staff is such an avid White Sox
Take
fan.
a bow,
It is
Bonnie.
not to be believed. And she said she would sing that song, and she barely did it. Well, we'll get...
Like, to me, this is like more interesting than just, you know, talking to a player. You know, I mean, that would be cool, but like, you know, these are the people, like, players come and go, but like people like this, like, they're, you know, they're part of the experience. They're part of the, you know, the local scene, Chicago, or, you know, wherever you grew up.
Get you next time, Bonnie. Now, when you're going through all of these different things, do you ever get calls up there, say from Bill Veeck or someone saying, you're not playing enough music, or you're playing too much music, or do they phone up with requests?
Well, I have a telephone right there, and the most embarrassing thing was to get a call from Billy Martin, which said, please lay low on the music because it's shaking up my picture. So I quit playing, and then my boss, who at the time was Stu Holcomb, called and said, keep playing, what you're doing is fine, you know. So I was getting these conflicting instructions, and then Billy Martin had the umpire call. So the umpire would call back and say, cut it out, and he held the game up for a while. That was embarrassing. So the phone did come in handy for that.
Who won out in the end? Did you play or didn't you play?
I think the inning came to an end, and they had a commercial on the air, and that was the end of that. Yeah.
Are you an avid baseball fan? Were you before you got into this?
No, I wasn't before I started working. That was at the ballpark, which was 10 years ago. But I am now. It makes my job so much more fun, you know, just to be playing for a winning team. And if the team is doing well, the fans respond, and that's real glamorous.
You've been doing this for 10 years?
Yes.
How did you get the job?
Well, when I was at North Park College, I wrote letters to the sports teams in Chicago and let them know that I was interested if an opening should appear, you know. And so then when there was an opening at Sox Park, they proceeded
I don't even have some smart-ass commentary to make. Like, this is interesting. I like this.
to call me after checking.
Thank you, Jay, for submitting this. This is a nice nice switch from, you know, Fight Back. I unfortunately I couldn't find more Fight Back footage. I liked the one with the Orville Redenbacher was a good episode, and I couldn't find any more like that. It was all newer shit, and the newer stuff was boring. So I'm glad we found this.
Checking their files with my letter.
And they just called you up and said, we'd like you to play the organ
Just
at Sox
out of the blue, yes.
I know you've had some other offers, too. In fact, one you had to turn down, and we'll talk about that when we return after this commercial.
All right.
Can you play a little, nah, you're going to get a second chance?
Oh, we got commercials.
Okay, Bonnie.
Na, 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 na.
Of course I do. Who doesn't want to be friends with this gal?
Hey, let me hear you. Na, na, na.
Thursday, Joseph Cotton stars in From the Earth to the Moon.
The exploding dick.
I made certain that your flight would never succeed.
Just before we took off, when we couldn't...
Why did you let us get this far? Why did you let us get off the Earth? I didn't think that you would get this far, Mr. Barbicane. And if you did, I had to convince the world that your mysterious source of power was too dangerous to use.
Like, I would love to be able to do a live stream like this, and as I'm talking about shit, like I have somebody in the background just playing music, playing organ music that coincides with whatever I'm talking about.
From the Earth to the Moon, Thursday, 3:30.
To the moon, Alice.
There's a brand new store in town. It's
Oh my God.
Take another look,
I didn't even have to see the, as soon as I saw that symbol, the little star, the little asterisk. Yeah, I knew it was Zaire as soon as I saw that shit.
brand new store in town. It's called Zaire.
Take another look, take another look, take another look at Zaire. Take another look, look at all the fashions there. Take another look at Zaire. Take another look, compare. Take another look, take another look, take another look at Zaire. Take another look, look at all the values there.
Come on in and take a look.
Zaire always had that, like, that department store, like that chemical smell, that like new clothes chemical I can't even, it's like a plasticky smell. Zaire was just a chain of department stores. You know, this is all like the pre-Walmart, pre-Target days. Yeah. I mean, it was around during pennies, but Zaire, Venture was another one. Those are the two big ones around here. Yeah, very Midwest. But yeah, it was just a retail department store that sold like clothes, electronics, and like toys and like housewares and shit. Like they didn't have food or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Take your family out for a change to the Regency Steakhouse nearest you. We have 3 locations to serve you.
Once again, there was like Steakhouse. This was like the era of, this is when the salad bar started to become popular.
5616 West 95th in Oak Lawn, 4538 North Harlem Harwood Heights, and 669 River Oaks in Calumet City. Whether your choice is Regency's Sunday breakfast brunch, a midweek dinner, or lunch, you'll be treated to our fabulous salad bar and complete menu, from succulent steaks to lobster, personally
up.
Succulent. Supervised by Nick and Helenakis.
Hey, that's Nick and Helenakis there. Hey, we're from Crete. And this is my wife, Helen.
Regency Steakhouse, home of endless coffee and Coke. Come on out.
Coffee and Coke? Yeah, that was definitely the 70s.
To get those nice, crispy French fries at home, you have to make them from scratch. Not anymore. You're in for a crispy surprise with Carnation French fries.
Carnation made fries? I thought they just made, like, instant breakfast chocolate milk bullshit.
Till you taste them. Carnation French fries heat up nice and crispy, not greasy, tender inside, crispy outside. Take them home.
Just like me.
You're in for a crispy surprise.
They came to the Ohio bar where Dimebag Darrell was shot. That was the thing, too. Like, in the 80s, 70s, 80s, there were, like, these steakhouse buffet type places. There was a place Buddy knows. It was called York Steakhouse. And it was very similar to this, where it was like kind of a buffet, but they also served steak, and they also kind of had like servers. It was weird. It was like you'd go in, you would pay up front, and then like you would sit down, they would take your drink order, and then you would go up to the buffet, get your shit, and by the time you came back, your drinks would be there. But I believe there is still one more York Steakhouse still left in existence, and I believe it's in Columbus, Ohio. I think it's the only the last surviving York Steakhouse, and there's a couple of YouTube videos of it, and it looks exactly like the one I remember growing up. It's scary.
With Carnation French fries.
Nancy Faust, organist over at White Sox Park, or they are again once calling it Comiskey Park.
Yeah, I don't even know if the food was really that good, but I want to go just to go.
That's correct.
Because Bill Veck changed the name back for all of those Southsiders over there.
Yeah, that was where that's what. Yeah, well, you'll fly all the way out here, and then we'll drive to Columbus, Ohio.
Right before we broke away, I had said to you, you received an offer that you had to turn down. Who was the offer from? The Cubs?
Am I supposed to say this? Yes,
well,
that's
sure.
true. I have several times.
So the Cubs contacted you because, from what I understand, the Cubs and the White Sox do not play home at the same time. So you
that's true.
Logically could have played for
this
both.
was the first time that I received the offer from the Cubs, that they thought it would fit in very well that I could do both the Cub games and the Sox games since their schedules did not conflict. And so verbally, I had agreed to do it until I informed Mr. Veck that I was going to do both. And he said, oh.
Which, by the way, that drive from where I'm at, well, it'd be a little less time for you, buddy, but where I'm at to Columbus, that's like a 4.5 to 5 hour drive. Oof. All for some York Steakhouse.
Oh, no, your affiliation should lie at either one park or the other, so I chose to stay with the White Sox.
How long had you been with the White Sox at that point?
Oh, about maybe 7 years. That was Mr. Veck's first year, I think, so maybe that was 3 or 4 years ago.
So the Cubs wanted you up on the north side, but you're staying on the south side.
That's right. If it has to be one or the other, right now I feel that's where my roots are, and I feel very comfortable there.
Well, now you've been there for 10 years, and I bet in the beginning those were some pretty lean years as far as fans were concerned.
That's true. My first year there was 1970, and I think the attendance was the lowest ever. I think that for the whole year they drew something like 400,000 people, whereas last year we probably drew 1.5 million.
Ooh. Opening day here, there were 43,000 people, 41,000 people, something like that.
Which was a tenth of the whole season's draw.
And it was so cold. It was amazing that so many people came out.
Right. We get a lot of support these days. And the people come out not only to see a good ball game, you know, hopefully, but they just come out to have a good time. I think Mr. Beck has established the park as a fun place to be.
Speaking of fun place and fun things to do at the park, coming up on Tuesday, May 1st, it is music night, and they are honoring you, Nancy Faust.
That's
but
correct.
in addition to that, people who bring musical instruments get in at half price?
That is the policy that they've always had in the past, and it's one of the really fun promotions. And the associate conductor of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra gets up on his
Boy, I'm surprised they let him bring musical instruments into the park at that time. People just start getting drunk and beating the shit out of each other with them.
Podium during the 7th inning stretch and leads the whole park and Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and you hear a whole conglomeration of different instruments.
So anyone who has a musical instrument can get in for half price and have a good time?
Any form of instrument, like it can be a comb with a little paper over it, or anything that would make a musical
Kazoo.
sound. Yeah, whistle. And I think that they're going to give.
Yeah. I think all three of us now are forming this, like, just this crush on her right now. I'm crushing on her hard right now.
Some kind of musical instruments to everybody, so everybody will have one to play. They'll give a whistle or something.
Speaking of playing, what do you play for Chet Lemon when he walks up?
Oh, this is very original. Want to sing?
What happens if all of a sudden, maybe it seems that one of the managers is getting into it with...
I just love that they got an organ out there for her to play and, like, demonstrate, you know. They just didn't, like, have her sit down at a cheesy fucking chair and just talk, you know. Like, they actually had her do all this. That's cool.
With the ump. Do you play anything?
Well, if they're having an argument, I might... You know, one thing that lends itself very well to my short little, you know, renditions is commercials, or little jingles from commercial ads. Like, I would play something like Have It Your Way if they're arguing. Right. And there's a lot of other jingles that seem to be appropriate, like, can I name sponsors? I mean, different companies. Like from Continental Airlines, we really move our tail for you if an outfielder makes a spectacular catch out there. Or you deserve a break today if,
Does Bill Beck have a favorite song?
Oh, does he? He likes to hear that na-na a lot.
He likes big booty bitches.
It means that we're doing well, so.
Yeah, I didn't hear it too much the opening day, unfortunately.
That's true.
But that's all going to turn around,
I hope so. We don't like to overdo it, you know, because then we feel embarrassed if we lose after playing that.
You take requests at the park, too, from people who are there to see the game.
Well, that's true, because the situation is unique in that the organ is situated right out among the people, so I just get ideas from people all the time.
What do you think is probably the most popular request that you get?
Oh, let's see. Well, I suppose it depends on what happens to be popular in the top 40 at the time.
And you do play all top 40 hits.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
And that's unusual. I think most people, when they think of an organist...
This is not... Yeah, it's the Name That Tune era of the American conscience. This is also during... This was also kind of that organy era. Remember, buddy, we had that on VLP when we brought up organ grinder pizza. And there was these pizza places all over the country where they kind of had this, like, turn of the century theme to them, like 1900 theme to them. And there'd be like a dude sitting at a giant pipe organ in the middle of this fucking restaurant, just playing the pipe organ while you went and got pizza.
They think of something that sounds like you should be roller skating to it.
Yeah, funeral music or roller skating music. On Friday nights when there's a lot of beer drinkers, I get a request for Melancholy Baby numerous times. Which I don't know.
Speaking of some of those beer drinkers, you don't ever have any problems, do you, with people being so close to you?
No, I don't have problems, just a lot of fun.
And a security guard who is close by at all times.
Well, there's an Andy Frayne usher nearby, or there's a lot of security all over the park, and we keep problems to a minimum.
All right, now, I want to remind everybody once again about Tuesday, May 1st. It is music night. They are honoring Nancy Faust. Oh, and Nancy has a record.
I just happened to be there.
Just happened to have it right here. It's called Nancy Faust at the Game, Favorite Organ Melodies.
Oh, now I need to find this album.
on location at Comiskey Park. Thank you for being with us,
Thank you
and
for having me.
congratulations on Tuesday evening. And don't forget, all of you White Sox fans, to take your musical instruments and go over to White Sox Park. We also want to thank the Hammond Organ Company and their dealerships throughout Chicago. They were responsible for getting this
That's
organ
right.
in
This
here
is a
this
honey.
morning.
Yes.
It is a honey. Could you
Yes.
play us out with some?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah. Wait, I'll let this go.
Nancy?
Okay, how about take?
Very good.
So she retired in 2010 from the White Sox. I've got a video of her retirement speech that I can play.
In 1970, Richard Nixon was in the White House. The floppy disk was invented. A U.S. postage stamp cost
And that's kind of a shame. There's like nobody in the fucking crowd. It's like, come on, man.
6 cents. And Nancy Faust commenced her career with the Chicago White Sox. Today, we honor this special member and fan favorite of the White Sox family, Nancy Faust, and wish her a fond farewell as organist for the Chicago White Sox. Earlier this afternoon, the White Sox surprised Nancy with a special private ceremony, unveiling a plaque dedicating the organist booth in her honor.
Yeah, she pretty much just looks the same, just older.
The plaque reads, Nancy Faust, organist booth. During her legendary 40-year career as the organist for the Chicago White Sox, Nancy Faust entertained White Sox and baseball fans at more than 3,000 games and events. She was credited as the first sports organist to incorporate popular and rock themes, including her trademark rendition of Na Na Hey Hey Kiss 'Em Goodbye, into her performances. Dubbed baseball's best organist by Sports Illustrated, she was famous for punctuating the game and opposing player at bat music with personal and witty melodic interludes while entertaining millions of fans. Nancy was quoted with saying, "If I'm a major part of a fan's White Sox experience, it's because fans are a major part of mine."
I never really did go to work. Each time I left home, I headed straight for what could best be described as a grand party. A party, that's right, surrounded by thousands of fun-loving fans, all sharing their passion for baseball and the Chicago White Sox. A party where friends and family were able to form strong and lasting bonds, where lifelong memories and traditions were made. I've watched this play out generation after generation, often wishing time could simply stand still. Oh, to have my mother and father here with me again today would have made them so proud and happy. To Mr. Reinsdorf and the entire White Sox organization, thank you for the tremendous opportunity of being a long-term team player. And to all of you, every one of you, thank you. A heartfelt thank you.
See what I mean, man? Players come and go, crowd, people come and go, but, you know.
A heartfelt thank you for allowing me to provide a soundtrack to what has been the greatest times. I will never forget this, and you will be in my memories, and I will cherish your love, and I will love you all always. Thank you.
She was born on March 11th, 1947. She's like the same age as my mom. She's still kicking. She grew up in the Chicago area, began playing the organ at age 4. Graduated from Theodore Roosevelt High School. Received a bachelor's in psychology from North Park University. Yeah, she was the organist for the Bulls from 75 to 84. And then for the Blackhawks from 84 to 89. So, yeah, pretty lucrative career. Definitely a hardcore musician crush on her there. Nancy Faust from the Chicagoland area watching the game tonight. What else do we got? Because it's 12:20. Ooh, what time? Okay, well, I got 10 minutes. What can we fill for 10 minutes? Yeah, everybody I've known that has their bachelor's in psychology, like, it's just a degree. It's, you know what it is? It's a degree that you can add to your resume, so when HR looks at your resume, they can go, okay, they have a degree. Like, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter. Like, they don't care what you have a degree in, as long as you have a bachelor's. That's what psychology's for. Oh.
Son of a bitch!
Exactly. I'm scrolling through the stuff you guys posted. Stuff that I can play that won't get me copyright strike, because that would really suck to get a copyright strike right at the end of the stream. Put on some Baywatch or Faces of Death or American Gladiators. I could probably put American Gladiators. As long as it's like an actual, like VHS recording. Here we go.
Time has come to put up or shut up.
Today, a new season begins on American Gladiators. Gary Wilson.
See, I want like an actual VHS recording. Here we go. I remember Ice.
Today on American Gladiators, a California surfer dude, a firefighter and former Olympian, a cabinet maker, and an industrial relations specialist. Only two will survive today's tangle with the Gladiators. Let the game begin.
That's not the theme song I remember. Come on now. Give me what do we got here?
This is Malibu, the cool, laid-back surfer at home on the beach. You're looking at Lace, feminine, sexy, but always a lady. This is Gemini, a split personality, calm 1 minute, violent the next. This is Zap, strong, silent, the Terminator. You're looking at Nitro, cocky, explosive, and always aggressive. And this is Sunny, the all-American woman. These are the American Gladiators. And the events they compete in are confrontational, exciting, and fast-paced, action-oriented, visually interesting.
Fucking Malibu. Look at that. Hair still looks good, though.
And capable of producing emotional moments. From Universal Studios Hollywood, this is the American Gladiators.
So these are just all the intros.
From Universal Studios.
This show made it to 1997. I didn't even realize that. I thought it petered out around 92, 93.
Hollywood.
This is American Gladiators. Selected from a nationwide search, 22 men and women have come to Hollywood to challenge our force of American Gladiators for the single honor to become American Gladiators champion. Now here are your American Gladiators: Nitro, Lace, Blaze, Gemini, Titan, Zap.
I remember Zap. Okay, now beheading videos. Dorfin Golf.
Gold.
Gold. I remember Gold. Are there any Nancy Faust recordings? Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Nancy Faust. I just did a YouTube search for Nancy Faust, and the AM Chicago thing we just watched came up. That was the first thing that came up. Here we go. We got some good shit here. This is from 5 years ago. So, yeah, Nancy heats up the organ with a sample of Dancing Queen. Oh, here's some vehicle. Some vehicle. Oh, we got Faust Fest. U.S. Cellular Field. Eat a dick. It's Comiskey. Oh, I thought that was video. This is 3 years ago.
Right? No, it's September. Yeah.
I haven't done it for a long time, but it goes something like that, right?
Yeah.
Roger.
He wants to take me out to the ball game.
Joe, I told you that might shake if you put that there.
right. All right. I think that's a good way to end it off here. So we're going to go ahead and oh, here we go. Take me out to the ball game. I'm looking up some other ones here. Let me see here. We got a Harry Carey one.
Me out to the...
Nah. That was actually Nancy playing, though. Wait, I got to play this. I got to show this to you. This is great. This is 1980. Look at her. She's like all bundled up because it's freezing fucking cold.
Me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the White Sox if they...
Oh, that's what he was doing. Yeah, he was announcing for the Sox.
They don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey! Oh, Nancy! Let me hear you, everybody. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the White Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Well, let's enjoy a song. Everybody. Okay, Nancy. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the White Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at...
I just got to say, as somebody who mostly watched the Cubs, it's so weird to hear Harry say the White Sox. But I know he announced for them back then, but it's like a little bit before I remember, so it's strange for me to hear it.
At the old ball game. Hey! Everybody! Okay, Nancy, let me hear you now. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack.
Anyways, guys, see you next week, hopefully. I'm going to let this play out.
If they don't win, it's a shame.
Have fun.
For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes.
Feel free to post more submissions to the work throughout the week.
Yay! Let's wake up the place. Let me hear you. All right, Nancy. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the White Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey, let's get some run. Everybody. All right, Nancy, let me hear you. Take me out to the ball game.
the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the White Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey! Everybody! Okay, Nancy! Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if they ever get back, or it's root for the White Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey! Everybody! Okay, Nancy, let me hear you. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the White Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey!
That was back in the day when you could just show up to a White Sox game and just fucking cutoffs, and that's it.
Everybody, let me hear you. Okay, Nancy. Come on now. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the White Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.